No student can cover the entire syllabus on the day before exam in CMA exams. It's quite obvious studying only select two topics in CMA, either inter or final. So the fear which a student will be having is like which topics I should stress on the day before exam, which topics I should leave or I could give a chance. So those students only, for you only, this concept I am giving. So first focus on these areas, then after if you're having time, then only focus on the other areas. Okay, it's not required to cover the entire syllabus always. The time we are having is very limited, so cover only the specific concepts, it's obviously fine. Now coming to the first chapter, sir, introduction. There's a separate file in the BCCA app in free resources. You can download that file. I have compiled the past exam and the MTP questions from the first chapter. There are 7 questions, sir. Those 7 questions are only being repeatedly asking. So it's necessary for you to go through those 7 questions. Download that and go through them. Next, coming to supply chapter, sir. The important areas are schedule 1, schedule 2, and composite and mixed supply. These are the important areas. Schedule 1, schedule 3, not 2, schedule 3, negative list, and composite and mixed supply. Then coming to the charge chapter, it is RCM, reverse charge mechanism, and in reverse charge mechanism, not all the points are, especially the goods transport agency related, rent related, and the lawyer services related. These are most frequently tested topics. And composition schemes, sir, you should refer the whole composition scheme, the aggregate turnover definition, applicability of composition scheme, both under the 10 subsection 1 as well as the 10 2A, and ineligibility for composition scheme, when the composition scheme will get lapsed. Okay, what are the tax rates under composition scheme? So you should have a detailed understanding regarding the composition scheme. Then coming to exemptions, sir. Again, exemptions is a lengthy topic, so you could take chance regarding the areas of focus. You cover the charity related, health related, sports related, education related, artist related, entry to various events related, business correspondent, and interest and discount related, and even transport related. These exemptions, if you focus maximum times, the points which they are asking in exams are from these areas only. Okay, then time of supply, sir. In time of supply, you need not to read everything regarding the time of supply, sir. In time of supply, majority times they're asking about goods, and in goods also where there involves no movement. When there involves no movement, then the invoice has to be issued on or before the removal of goods from the supplier premises. So that would be the due date for issue of invoice, and there will be actual date of invoice, whichever is earlier will become the time of supply. So that point related only most frequently questions are being asked. Then time of supply of goods under RCM, that anyhow you'll read simple one only. And even for time of supply of service under FCM and RCM, these two areas. Then coming to value of supply, sir. Value of supply, hardly it will come to 1.5 page, sir, the whole concepts. So value of supply, you should take transaction value, where price is not the sole consideration and supplier and recipient are unrelated, then only you can take transactions have a value as value of supply. There are certain inclusions and exclusions and regarding discount, so that part only. Okay, do that, and problematic questions only, so solve the problems as well. And coming to ITC, go straight away to 16 subsection 2, the conditions to be satisfied to avail ITC. 6 conditions are there, read them. Then there is a proviso 1 and proviso 2. Proviso 1 is about when goods are sent in lots, you can avail ITC only on receipt of last lot. Then 16 subsection 2 regarding 180 days, where the recipient didn't make the payment within 180 days, recipient has to reverse the ITC. And then again 16 subsection 3, if you are availing depreciation on tax part, you cannot avail ITC. 16 subsection 4, time limit for availing ITC. And then 17 subsection 5, it's about the blocked credits. Okay, then registration chapter, sir. This chapter looks so lengthy. 90% of the times the questions are being picked from the important areas only, so you can take chance. Threshold limit for registration 22 subsection 1, effective date of registration, and exemptions from registration section 23, and about cancellation of registration. Then invoice, sir, it is about revised invoice chapter, sir. In the recent 2 attempts, actually there is no 7 marks question from invoice chapter, but I am giving selective areas. If you don't have time, or else if you want to stress more on some other areas, then you could completely you can even ignore the invoice chapter as well. So revised invoice, e-invoice applicability, credit note and debit note, and e-way bill applicability and validity. So these are the important areas here. Then payment of taxes, sir. It's about e-cash ledger. And then liability ledger, so there is order of discharge of taxes, that one is important. And then transfer of balance from one head to another, one head to other head. Okay, so within the cash ledger, the transfer between minor heads and major heads is there, that area. Then GST returns, the whole return numbers and due dates you need to focus on. GSTR1, 3B, first return and final return, these are the areas of focus. Then coming to customs or types of duty, in that the basic format oriented sums are when there is an assessable value, how to calculate BCD, which rate BCD has to be taken, which rate exchange rate has to be taken, that part you need to focus. Then IGST on what value has to be levied, cess on what value has to be levied, that one. Then there are two separate problems related to safeguard duty and anti-dumping duty, those are you need to focus. Then customs are valuation. Rule 3 is nothing but the basic format of valuation, like X factory price or FOB value, CAF value, that calculation will do. Inclusions and all will be doing na, that format oriented sum. Rule 4 na, it's about where transaction value cannot take as the accessible value. You will take the identical goods value, that is about rule 4. Rule 7 na, it is about deductive value method, that is about rule 7. So these are the areas of focus. Okay, sir, out of these two, out of all these chapters also, the important are like introduction related 7 questions are, because out of these two there are fair chances of asking 2 questions, 14 marks, and from customs 1 question. Okay, so first you should focus on introduction chapter, then you should focus on the customs, 21 marks covered here. Then your focus should be on composition scheme. Then you should go to value of supply and ITC part, value of supply and ITC part. As per my expectation, from value of supply and ITC, then again there will be 1 7 marks question minimum. In if there is some paper is in our favor na, then there will be 2 questions as well. Okay, so the first priority should be introduction, then customs, then composition scheme, then value of supply and ITC, then cover the rest of the topics. Okay, and sir, why I am asking you to cover these many topics from IDT na, the majority cases will not take choice from IDT. Okay, we'll try to write all the questions from IDT, whereas we'll use the choice from DT. Okay, so that's why I think this is the right strategy, whether you're a single group student or both group students. If you're a single group student and you have time, then go for the other things as well, practice the questions. Okay, okay, all the best. I wish you very all the best. Thank you.